We're alive.
Oh, we got to do that.
Yeah, bring it here, be quiet. But it's live already.
It's live. Oh, I need a coaster.
Yes.
I know, but I need to.
Put on the table, girl.
No, I don't put stuff on
We're
people's
live.
table.
We're live. We're live.
I had a piece of paper.
Can't go past the board. Pam, must have got it right over here.
Behind the gun.
Hey, give me the gum. Because I don't want to forget the gum. Let's put the gum in my pocket. This is my coaster. Here or here?
Either one you want.
What's a better side? This side or this side? Which one? Should I be here or here? Yes.
That's Gina's chair. Is she shaking?
Ah!
No, you not. No, you not.
Did Pam do this? Like, get out of here.
Well, she gonna get tired.
Are we live?
Hey, y'all.
Oh, we're live already.
I didn't know we were live.
I didn't know it was already.
Hey, y'all. And the
Okay.
So I don't need to be in
Mic
this
check,
camera.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Do I?
Oh, right here. Oh, I'm supposed to be live on Facebook, y'all. Hold on.
Hey,
I'm
Lady
ready.
Pooh.
I'm ready.
Do I need to be in here?
You can talk to me.
Should I
Say hi.
move over? But I don't want to mess up your mirrors. I mean, your mics.
Wait, I gotta go this way.
Look, I need a makeup person. My face is shiny. Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Mic check. Mic check.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We are so happy that you all, hopefully you all were able to tune in to our YouTube channel to hear Stephanie A. Roberts giving us a little background and telling us a little bit about who she is and how she came to be the amazing woman that she is today. So thank you for joining us for our live Q&A. This is your opportunity to ask any questions that you may have of Stephanie A. Roberts. She is an open book and is ready to divulge what you got.
Come on, everybody. Come on with the questions. I am ready.
Stephanie loves questions
I love
that
questions.
are thought-provoking and fruitful. So please ask thought-provoking, fruitful questions.
Two of my favorite words.
Well, that was a question. When you were doing the live. So little Debbie, she said, "Do you engage with teen parenting at all?"
I engage with teen parenting with parent enrichment courses. Feel free to go to openyourmindllc@gmail.com. You can also check my website out. But if you email me, you'll also get contact information and we can set up an appointment. We do one-on-ones, we do group sessions, we do youth and young adult forums. So to answer your question, yes, that is my heart and home. 15 years as a middle school teacher, 2 years teaching ninth grade, and 2 years teaching second grade. So I got you good.
Do you do any virtual sessions? Like if there are people that are outside of the Chicagoland area?
That's a great question. If you are outside of the Chicagoland area, thank you, 2 Snaps for our founder. We do Zoom sessions. We do 1 hour sessions, 90-minute sessions, and 2 hour sessions because virtually more than 2 hours is probably too much for parents and young people. So yes, indeed, we do virtual sessions for those who are out of the immediate area.
So, Stephanie, I know the name is Stephanie A. Roberts. Is there significance in your name? Why it is Roberts and it's not your husband's name, your husband's last name?
That is a very good question. So I was born Stephanie Ann Brookins. That is my mom's maiden name. My biological father's last name is Parker, and my married last name is Kushmir. My mother married my stepfather when she was 19. He embraced me as his own. When I reached the age of 6, he formally adopted me and gave me his last name. And so I think it was 2004 when he was on his deathbed, I promised him that I would forever keep his name because he accepted me as his own. He was a loving stepfather, did not treat me any differently than he did my brother. Even though he and my mom didn't make it, he stayed connected to me even when I met my biological father and began to build a relationship with him. So I will forever keep Stephanie A. Roberts. And when I got married, my husband said, if that's what you want, I am all good with it.
Okay, I also know that you always say that you never leave home.
Words that my uncle told me, that I am amazing, I am awesome, and I am anointed, and that I carry with me. So yes, I am Stephanie A. Roberts without the A.
All right.
Okay.
Donna Jackson says, how do you refuel after pouring into so many lives daily?
This thing tonight. So one of the things that I do, I learn to meditate and pray. And I feed myself positivity. So I don't listen to a lot. I would say more intentionally, because when you're walking, to me, I get closer to God because God walked every way. He didn't have a car. Yeah, it got all quiet. I'm not trying to make it deep in here.
I have a question. It's not on here. I have.
OG Leslie. She says she has a question.
They said they can
They say it froze.
It froze.
Just talk loud.
All right, they're
I
trying to
have a
talk loud.
question.
Yes.
The question is, all of the phrases or the sayings that we're using, how did you come up with that? How did you start these? How did you come up with that?
A lot of times I come with them on the fly, and I would definitely say it is somewhat of a gift. Poetry has always been something that I have embraced from a small child, and so with that comes rhythm. Family with pastors and preachers, preaching has a rhythm. And so with that preaching, it is in me. So a lot of times I can't talk without going in that direction, and that has kind of helped me with different sayings. I think being an educator, rhyming words, reading a lot. I don't read nearly as much as I used to because I listen more to podcasts and audible books and stuff like that. But I think a lot of it comes from the rhythm of being in church and then also having a love for poetry. That was a good question. These are good, y'all.
I have another question.
Oh, come on through.
So, me being a woman of age 50 who didn't meet my biological father until my late father until later on.
If I'm honest, I cannot say that it affected me in a way that was drastic. I have been blessed to have my great-grandfather, my grandfather, my stepfather, and uncles in my life every single day up to the age of 10. So my great-grandparents lived with my grandparents. So my grandparents owned a home that was 8 bedrooms, 3 kitchens, 3 bathrooms, huge lot on the side. So every day until the age of 10, I had male role models in my life. So I never had a void of a father. And I probably would not have ever known that my stepfather was not my father until my grandmother dropped the beans while we were snapping beans. So we were in my grandmother's basement. I was 9 years old, and we were snapping beans in a bucket. And out of nowhere, my grandmother said, "You sure do look like Lamont." The only Lamont I knew was from Sanford and Son. So that was very foreign to me. Then about 2 minutes later, she said, "You sure look like those Parkers." I knew nobody with the last name Parker. Your mama gonna be mad at me because Lawrence is not your real father. Shut up, didn't say a word. It's in the book, Pieces of a Poet.
Oh.
So I had no idea that my stepfather was not my biological father until those jewels were dropped. So I can't say that I had a void. I was well loved. If I had nothing else, I had a lot of love. My great grandfather was in my life until I was an adult. Both of my great grandparents. My grandparents are still living after being married to each other for 73 years. So I did not have a void. I've always had strong male role models. That's probably why I got married late in life, because there was a comparison with all of the strong men that I grew up with.
Stephanie, some believe that you were a pastor, and growing up with a pastor in your home, do you feel like you missed a calling?
That's a very good question. I don't feel like I missed a calling because I have been licensed as an evangelist. I have been licensed as a deaconess. I attended Chicago Baptist Institute, and that is the only degree that I did not finish. I have gone through years of biblical study and training. One thing I can say about my family church, it is a small, quaint, cozy church, but I definitely got good training biblically from my family church. So I feel like I've gotten a lot. I've been certified in so many different areas of biblical and theological studies. I don't think I would have wanted to be a pastor because I truly feel like ministry is outside of the building. I think I need to say that for the people in the back. Real ministry is outside of the building. The building is where you get equipped. That's where you get the learning. But outside is where the people are. And so for me, I don't think I would have ever wanted a title as a pastor. I never really embraced the title as deaconess or evangelist, because when we check out of here, nobody's going to be calling you pastor, bishop, none of that anyway. I just want them to say I was a loving, nurturing child of God that reflected the light and love. So I would say I don't think I missed the calling because I'm still walking in my calling.
That's a good question.
Good question. Boss, baby. These are good ones. What y'all got to say? Say ye.
What inspired you to work with the youth?
Ooh, that's a real good one. I had several great mentors in my life. One of which I'm going to do a shout out. She's in her early 70s now. I think she just reached 71. Dr. Olivia Perry, which from my home church, she was one of my earliest mentors. And I saw how mentors helped me. Now, my mother was in my life. She was a hard worker. I didn't see a lot of my mother because my mother worked anytime, all time, overtime, whenever time. So she made sure that we had a nice home and all the things that kids needed. But there were other people raising me, my brother and I. So had it not been for mentors, I wouldn't be who I am. So I felt like paying it forward. And I started working with youth probably at the age of 17, but more systematically once I attended Benedictine University, because at Benedictine, there were a handful of African Americans. I was very influential in starting the first ever gospel choir and the Union of Minority Students, Two Snaps. It's still going now, over 30 years later. And my home church, my family church, was really my training ground where I was able to really work with many youth who are now adults. And I found that rewarding. It was a great passion that I would always feel with that. And I think I'll check out of here whenever God says my time is up. It's always good. My great-grandmother said this many years ago. It's good to keep old people and young people, because older people keep you with wisdom and young people keep you relevant and on track. So I would always have young people, in my life. So I think maybe me having good mentors inspired me to really continue to work with young people. That was a good one. Y'all got them coming. I love it.
These are from Instagram. Someone asked, "Are you two related?"
Are we related? Yes. Pamela Robinson is my sister from another mother. I now consider this my family. This is an additional extension of my family. So even though we don't have the same mother, she is my sister.
Go ahead. Oh, loud, loud.
Very loud. Okay, I can get loud. Hello, Stephanie.
Hey, Niecy.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Now that you have your open mind company and you do your motivation Mondays and the things that you do for 40 plus Double Dutch Club, like doing the prayer at the end, which is always awesome. Where do you see yourself going now? What is your future like? 5 years, 10 years, or anything like that? Do you have any plans or any goals or anything that you want to do on your bucket list or anything like that?
Good.
That's a good question, too. 2 snaps. I don't necessarily have a bucket list, but one of the things right now, just pray for me, send some positive energy my way. I have 3 books that I have been working on for the last 8 or 9 months, but life has been happening, so just getting time to center myself. But I really want to launch different components and parts of Open Your Mind LLC. I've had Open Your Mind LLC since 2004, so it's almost 20 years. It's coming up on 20 years. So every year it has come into some evolution, but I think that is one of the things that I have on my list. I definitely want to travel more with my husband. He lets me do what I want to do, be who I am. He sits back in the cut. He's really cool, quiet, low-keyed. He is one of my biggest cheerleaders. He is not a big traveler. I'm getting on planes, trains, and automobiles all the time. Before I met him, since I met him, now, more with 40 plus. But I do want to travel more with my husband because he deserves it. He's a very good guy, and he said his life would not be the same without me. And I say the same. Shout out to Kush. Sergeant Cushman. He's retiring too in December.
What does your husband do?
So my husband is in transportation, 24 years in the military. Army was his branch of service. And he will be retiring from the United States Army with a full-time retirement check.
All right.
And we'll see where we're going to go because both of us are very youthful. We embrace life. He is very stressless. He don't let nobody get on his nerves. So I think that is one of the other things. So traveling more with my husband. I do a lot with my job and with the 40 Plus Double Dutch Club movement and sisterhood. But I definitely want to do more of that.
Are all of the members from Chicago? This is an Instagram question.
So are all of the members of the 40 Plus Double Dutch Club from Chicago? No, ma'am. No, sir. We are in almost every major city and state. We're also in Israel, Canada, and Germany. So wherever you are, you can join in with us if you are a woman over 40. So let's make sure we're checking IDs. We need to make sure that you are over 40. 40plusdoubledutchclub.org or 40 Plus Double Dutch Club on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and whatever social media outlet. You can YouTube us. Soon as you put in 40 plus, we're going to pop right up.
Exactly. And although we did originate in Chicago, God has used what started as a small group of women jumping double dutch in the south suburbs of Chicago to become a global movement of women all over the world. So as Stephanie said, there is a 40 plus double dutch club somewhere near you.
But I'm going to tell you, Chicago is deep. We have 15 active sub-clubs in the state of Illinois. So if you're anywhere, you just go to the website. Just go to the website.
What's the website?
40 Plus Double Dutch Club. .org, or just put in 40 plus Double Dutch Club. It's gonna pop up.
Google us. Google us.
We're kind of a big deal.
Someone said, "Let me get my knees ready." So
Even if your knees aren't ready, you are welcome to join us. We accept all shapes, sizes, and skill levels. Even if you have never jumped double dutch before, you are welcome to come. We hopscotch, we hula hoop, we play Chinese rope, we play jacks. We do all of the things that we did when we were growing up as little girls. We might not be able to do it as fast or as long, but as long as we are moving, we are okay. And even if you just come for the fellowship, that alone will be enough to get you coming back and to keep you coming back. So what started as something that was just about a double dutch club and a double dutch rope is now a sisterhood. So join me.
we have another question. It says, "What advice would you give those who are considering becoming teachers when it seems as if teachers are losing rights to protect themselves from students?"
Yes.
That is a very good question. If I'm very honest, being an educator is really a calling. So I'm going to flip the script before I answer your question. So if you have become a teacher recently, you got to make sure you love kids. Teaching is not for the faint at heart. Not today. And it is not about the income. It is about the outcome. So I want to share that first. Now, if you have been in the field of education for a number of years and you have gotten a little weary, you may need to consider another field to work in. I'm being very honest and transparent. I know many are waiting for their pension checks, and that's so you got to look at those years. But really, the young people, the youth of this day, they need someone who is loving and nurturing. The world that we grew up in is obsolete. This is a new world. And so when you're talking about dealing with this generation, you got to have a lot of love, a lot of heart, patience, and compassion. And I'm going to throw this in there. You need to have some type of a spiritual foundation because you got to be able to get and build a relationship with them before you can teach them. And if you don't have that capacity, then you may need to consider another field. I'm just saying what I'm saying because I'm saying what I'm saying. So for me, you're talking about advice, I would say make sure this is what you want to do. If you're trying to get in it for summers off and spring break and Christmas break and getting off at 2:45 when the bell rings, this is not for you. For me, I will always consider myself an educator. All of my former scholars have my cell phone number now. It's just a number. If I'm not available, I won't answer. But sometimes they'll call me before they call their parent, even though I've been out of the classroom 5 years. So my advice to you, make sure you love kids and you want the best for kids and you're in a position to build relationships with the parents. It's triangular. Families and parents, the scholar and the school. If one is missing, you almost fail because that's 66.6%. So that would be my advice to you.
Woo! Good.
I'm saying what I'm saying.
I'm just saying what I'm saying.
That's another t-shirt.
Because I'm saying what I'm saying.
T-shirt right there.
You know, that's all I'm saying. So for those of you who are out there, who are aspiring to be in education, make sure you don't start off by student teaching. Substitute somewhere for 2 months. Not 1 week, 2 months. Substitute for 2 months. That will tell you whether or not you really have the fiber to really be effective.
Because like she said, it's not for everybody. After I got my degree, I was a substitute for 2 weeks. That was enough. This ain't for me.
Someone said, "Love your advice for educators and potential educators." So thank you already.
Yeah, because it's not for everybody.
No. I keep my
And
license.
you got to be
current.
honest with yourself and know this is not for me. Let me do something different.
This is a more general question. Well, someone wants to know, how do they reach out
for an Orlando area meetup, where should they go? You can find all of our meetup locations on our website. You go to www.40plusdoubledutchclub.org and you can go to find a subclub. And that will give you a list of all of the subclubs, alphabetical list of all of our subclubs. And you just start scrolling because we got a bunch. We have over 100 subclubs. So you just start scrolling until you find what you are looking for. And once you have purchased your official t-shirt, similar to what Stephanie A is wearing with her name and age on the back. Once you purchase your official t-shirt, you are welcome to go out to any meetup at any sub club, anywhere in the world. You do not have to call anyone. You don't have to send an email, wait for an email back, get your name on the list. You don't have to do any of that. Once you have ordered your t-shirt, even if you haven't received it yet, once you have ordered your shirt, you are now an official member, and all you have to do is show up, and we will welcome you and treat you like our long-lost sister, because that's what you are.
No sister left behind.
That's right.
Speaking of ordering t-shirts, someone asked, what other colors do you ladies wear besides the red, silver, and black? Although you all do be sharp.
I'm going to answer that one.
Go right ahead.
Go, if you are following us on any platform, you will see that we have brand colors, and they're 4 colors: gray, white, black, and red. Let me straighten that up a little bit. Gray, because that was the original color. Black. Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
Yes,
Red
it
was
was.
the second.
It was. Red was the second. Okay.
Okay.
I've been corrected by our co-founder. Gray, red, black, white. So you will sit. Thank you, boss baby. And red is what really pops. This is what you generally see us in social media, or if you've seen us on ABC, CBS, NBC, WGN. Did y'all see us on Sherry Shepherd? That's another conversation. Didn't we rock it?
But red is the shirt that we recommend that all of our members get first, because that's the shirt that we want to see in performances, on the media. That's what we want to show, because that's the one that pops. That's what makes us stand out. So when you all saw us in the videos on Beale Street, we painted Beale Street red, because red is the color that really makes us stand out. Our mission. No one asked about our mission. Stephanie A, you want to tell them the mission of this movement?
I absolutely can. The mission of the 40 Plus Double Dutch Club is to empower, that's the good word there, empower women in mental health, all while inspiring them. Fitness, friendship, fun, fellowship. You can throw a little faith in there. Y'all talked about
And yes, we are a faith-based movement. We are not a Christian movement. We are not a Buddhist movement. There are several different religions. We are not a religious movement. We are faith-based. We believe that God is the creator of all things, and we acknowledge him every time we get together, because Katrina and I realized when this first kind of blew up that this was about more than just Double Dutch, that God was using us to do something that we never could have even imagined. And we have to acknowledge that every time we come together, because we know that God can do exceedingly, abundantly more than we could ever think, ask, or imagine, according to the power that worketh in us.
That's it.
So we want to make sure that we give God the glory in everything we do. That's our goal, is to give God glory.
Amen.
Okay, I have another question.
Yes, Nisi.
Okay, so I do see on the chat that Stephanie Jones says, Stephanie A. Roberts, thank you for always dropping the nuggets of wisdom, namesake. And then Mama Pelt said, Stephanie A. has a way of words and a positively contagious love for people. Praise God. That had me thinking about your Motivation Mondays. And if you could talk about where you do it at, is it on Facebook? And can somebody book you? I just see you speaking in a large arena, reaching so many women. Would that be something you might be interested in, or being booked or talking more? Because I'm always inspired whenever you talk. Whatever it is you're talking about, I just feel it in my soul that you're talking to me. So how can we get more of Stephanie A. Roberts?
Wait, y'all, before Stephanie answers that, I was just at my son's graduation from Arizona State University. And, you know, it's a huge university, 19,000 graduates. And we're sitting here at this graduation. And I was asleep. And you know why I was asleep? Because the commencement speaker was not Stephanie A. Roberts. Because I am so accustomed to her way of speaking and motivating with everything that she says, that this man that was just standing up there just talking could not hold my attention. And I came home and I called Stephanie. I was like, Stephanie, you need to be doing bigger stuff, a bigger level. You need to be speaking at graduations with 19,000 students. You need to be out there talking to the youth, talking to the women, talking to somebody and getting paid for it, because what you do is valuable. And people need what you have to offer. And it's great that you're sharing it with us on an everyday basis. That's great, but I feel like God has more in store for you.
I'm glad that you did mention that. When Pamela called me, and that was just a couple weeks ago, about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and I told her, thank you for the push. I think sometimes when you think about ministry, you know, you think about giving. I don't do anything for money. I think the largest group that I've ever spoken with was probably like 400 to 500. I am very, because I want God to order my steps, and I understand that God works through people. So the moment Pamela called me, I said, thank you for the push. I said, because that is God speaking to me. And so now Nisi is that additional push. Not by happen chance or not by coincidence that this is happening within 14 days that I'm getting this. And so I just ask that you continue to pray, send tons of positive energy my way, because now that means even when I go home and leave this, then that means that connectivity with God and getting to writing. I'm a journaler. I journal a lot. I have so much written down everywhere. You know, I have about 7 ongoing journals because all of the journals are for different things. And so this now will push me to go to that speaking journey. I have contracts. I mean, I probably have done maybe in the last, because I get paid to speak for a living with the company that I work for. But I do want God to trust me, and I think he does. I think I just need to step out to do it his way. And I would say maybe 15 to 20 paid speaking engagements. But thank you. I take that push. So, I mean, if anyone's interested, Open Your Mind LLC at gmail.com, and I respond within 24 hours or less, because I believe that's important. That's a business practice. And I will certainly, I'm off of my page for the next 2.5 weeks. So we can look at the calendar and make it happen.
Somebody
thank you,
just
Nisi.
said that Stephanie A. should start a YouTube channel to motivate the masses. So that's just in addition to what.
I have heard that. I've been told that probably for the last 8 years. Before Facebook really got as popular as it is, I can say that I've been doing like motivational videos for over 10 years, you know, but it's based on when I feel it, how I feel it, not necessarily regularly. But I will say this, I'm not turning that down. I say thank you for the push. I just get energy from live people. So virtual trainings were good during the pandemic, but the moment everything opened up, I was ready to get on a plane to go into a school district to speak to 100 educators, principals, superintendents, because there's something about the human element in the moment and the energy. So I'm not knocking the YouTube, but I'm not a sit down type person. I need to get up, move around, get activities going. So thank you for the push.
That person said, well, what about a women's conference?
Oh yeah, I've been doing women's conferences since over 25 years. So yeah, you can definitely book me for that. I can probably help us set that up.
Oh, he said that I will be booking you one day.
Yes, yeah, I do a lot. I do at least 3 or 4 of those a year.
So someone asked, do y'all visit different subclubs in different states?
Absolutely.
Oh yes, and yes. I'm thankful that I have a flexible job where I can get on planes and book. So absolutely yes.
Trains,
because we've been on we've been on foot, cars, buses, trains, and planes.
That's right.
So yes, we do visit. We love to be in the midst of members because there's a certain type of energy being there with many of our new members and being able to hug and love on them and show them things that they want to see in person versus seeing it and living vicariously through the video. So absolutely yes. In fact, if you want to see us in person, you better mark your calendar if you haven't done so already, because the third national, did you hear me when I say it? The third National Playdate Weekend is blessed, booked. We're going to be busy. We're going to be having a ball. So even if you cannot get on a plane, it would behoove you, benefit you in a powerful way to gather 2 or 3 friends, leave enough room to put your bags in the trunk, and come on down to Chicago. We are having our gala on Friday night. We're going to be dressed to the 9, honey. And seats are limited. So if you're going to come, you better get your ticket. Go on the website. On Saturday, 9 to 12, we're going to have our play date. We're going to have 200-300 of our sisters that are going to be there. You better get your ticket now because it might not be space for you on the playground. And then on Sunday, we're going to wrap up with our National Play Date Prayer Walk early in the morning, which is Church on the Lake. So come on through. We're going to have a great time. Last year, we were in the rain. But, honey, it didn't stop us. What were we singing? I can't sing it because I don't want to have to pay for it. But we were singing, a couple of popular songs that have rain in it, and we were rejoicing. We had breakfast afterwards. But this year, we'll have the prayer walk bright and early. And then at 3 o'clock, we're going to be at the Chicago Sky game. We're going to, do the halftime Star Spangled Banner. We're going to perform. We're going to be jumping all over. We got 2 huge sections. You're going to see us all over the place. So you better get your ticket.
Weekend is July 28th, 29th, and 30th. And Stephanie didn't mention it, but she is the one who leads our prayer walk. So if you want to experience Stephanie up close and personal and hear her speaking a word to all of us and motivating all of us, that is what will be happening the entire Playdate weekend, but specifically on Sunday at that prayer walk. So please, there is still space for all of the Playdate activities, but we don't know how long that will be true. So if you have not done so already, please go to the website and support our National Playdate, be a part of our National Playdate. It's a fundraiser this year. All of the funds go to our No Sister Left Behind fund because we want to make sure that we are giving back to the women who make up our movement, but also to other women in the community who are in need, who are having some type of financial challenges. We want to make sure that we're not just using Stephanie's term, No Sister Left Behind, but that we're actually showing that as long as we can help it, we're going to try to make sure that no sister is left behind. So please support that.
So can you just expound a little bit on your comment saying that it's not a Christian-based organization? Now we're talking about a prayer walk and all like that. Can you just please let the people know that whatever their faith is, the point is to strengthen their walk. It may not be Christian. It may be Muslim. It may be Jehovah's Witness. It may be Baptist. Whatever it is, we want them to strengthen their walk. Not convert to my walk, but your walk.
I think she answered that herself.
saying what I was saying.
Right.
So I guess we can.
Did y'all hear that?
We
Okay.
can
Right.
clarify that. That was a great
Answer
question.
a question.
Gina Ray, she asked the question and she answered it. So it does not matter your walk. It does not matter your religion or your faith or your practice. We want you to strengthen whatever spiritual walk that you are embracing. Again, all walks. We just need to make sure you're a woman over 40. You're ready to have fun and join in with fellowship with new friends as you're getting fit. So you don't have to have any particular faith, religion, or anything of the sort. Yes, we have a prayer walk, but the prayer walk is universal, and we want to make sure that if you're a woman over 40, we do not want you to be turned away. We want you to enjoy the experience of really being empowered and inspired in whatever spiritual practice you deem that is fitting for you. So no, you're not coming to go to church. We save that for the church building. We're not trying to convert anybody to anything. We want you to be able to come out, let your hair down, and have fun while you're getting a little time away from adulting and embracing this awesome and amazing sisterhood and movement.
Right. And although, as they said, although we're a faith-based movement, and so some people may feel like, oh, I thought you all were Christians. Many of us are Christians, but we don't want to leave anyone out. We are all inclusive. We want to include any woman over 40, regardless of your religious beliefs. So we don't want anyone to feel like, oh, they're leaving me out. I can't be a part of it because I'm not a Christian. Because we believe God loves everyone.
That's it.
The Bible says, for God so loved the world. Not for God so loved the Christians. For God so loved the Jehovah's Witnesses. For God so loved the Muslims. It says, for God so loved the world. And we are an organization that has spread throughout the world.
Yes.
And we so love the world just like God did. And so we want to make sure that everyone understands that and that everyone feels welcome to come in and join us and to experience not only God's love, but our love. So that's what we're trying to do.
Amen.
And I mean, the goal is to shine light and love, because above all, love is the key. That's it. That's it. That's it. So you all, don't forget, I know you all have all of these amazing questions. Many of you are tuned in tonight. Thank you, because it's a Monday night. But we do need you to like, follow, and subscribe. If you are a woman over 40, we want you to join. But if you are not a woman over 40, go tell your mama we are ready to embrace her. So if you are a woman over 40, join us, 40plusdoubledutchclub.org. Otherwise, you can still enjoy, watch, and support all of your aunties, your grandmama, your mama, your sister who's over 40, your neighbor, all that good stuff. So like, join, follow, subscribe. We are ready for you. All right, you see all this red. And gray, and black, and white. Black.
Last time, where can they find a sub club near them? Because that's the most common question. Is would you rather move here? So just let them know that.
So for all who are asking if there is a sub club or group near you, we have sub clubs in almost every major city across the country. We also have sub clubs in a few other countries, Germany, Israel, Canada. We are considering starting sub clubs in other countries as well. We just need to make sure that anyone who is leading a sub club knows how to turn and jump double dutch. You can find a sub club near you by going to the website. We've said it a couple times, but I'll say it a couple more. www.40plusdoubledutchclub.org. Go to the website, go to find a sub club, and scroll down. We have a list of all of our sub club locations when you go to find a sub club. So the first thing you do when you go to the website is you become a member. So once you become a member, and that means you purchase your official T-shirt. We recommend that you purchase the red one first. Purchase your official T-shirt. That is what we ask everyone to do in lieu of an annual membership fee. We do not have a mandatory fee, although we do have Membership Plus. You can learn about that through our website also. Y'all, our website gives you a lot of information. If you peruse the website, you will know 40 Plus Double Dutch Club backwards and forwards. You will have no questions. And it is very user-friendly because our website designer, who happens to be my daughter, Jordan, understands that this is geared toward women over 40, and some of us are challenged when it comes to technology because we didn't grow up with the computer mouse in our hands. So we do understand that a lot of us might be a little challenged, so we try to make it as user-friendly as possible. To find a sub-club, you go to find a sub-club, see how that works? And you scroll and find a sub-club in your area. If you do not see one, then you need to reach out to me, Pamela Pelt Robinson on Facebook. Inbox me and I will let you know the steps because there is a process to leading a sub-club. The first step in the process is that you have to be an official member for at least 90 days. And you have to have attended a sub-club in your area. So we need you to really go out to a sub-club so that you see who, what, when, where, how we operate, know who we are before you decide, oh, I want to run a group. You got to know what it is you're trying to run. So you need to be able to experience us before you can start a sub-club in your area. But inbox me and we'll talk about that. I think we have one more question.
Someone says, will my sister car get pulled if I'm not good at jumping double dutch?
We can teach anyone how to jump on the spot. If you are ready, we are willing. This is a no judgment zone. We understand that a lot of our sisters don't know how to jump. My sister just learned how to jump a couple of years ago. She's a little younger. When she was getting ready to start jumping, my older sister and I had stopped jumping. But she knows how to jump now because we can teach how to jump on the spot. We're much more patient than we were when we were 10 and 11 years old. We know how to teach you how to jump. So anyone who has always wanted to double dutch, we can teach you how to double dutch. That is not a problem. Do not let that keep you. And several of our members who did know how to double dutch hadn't jumped in 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. We can get you jumping again too. Just come out. Just come out.
Absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you, Pamela.
And
Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you,
Hey.
Thank you,
Thank you to all of our amazing brand ambassadors who took time out of their schedules to come to our live Q&A this evening. We appreciate them. This is just more evidence. Every time we get together, every time we connect online, in person, at our meetups, it is further evidence that this movement has gone beyond the ropes. Thank you all for being a part of it.
Yeah.
This is the 40 Plus Double Dutch Club podcast, Beyond the Ropes.
That was a good job. I love y'all.
We had people already waiting for the play date and the prayer walk.
Where are they?